Hey, hello, welcome. I hope you've watched part one, two, three. This might be four or five. I think this is four. I think it's four. I'm not keeping track. It's your job to keep track. Not my job. I'm just doing the videos. I'll figure it out. It'll say on the title. Okay, Lux. Don't scream at me. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Have been psyoped so fucking hard. We have been psyoped in the West so hard to just make everything ugly. Make everything ugly and unaesthetic and like, how do I even explain it? Just abrasive, right? Doesn't that kind of blow your mind a little bit? Like, isn't it weird? Like, isn't it weird to like watch that video and be like, huh?
Oh, there's also I wanted to bring up there's also another thing, right? I mean like the in the last video I did bring up the fact that she the person who's playing Ashley Graham, I think her name is Emily something. Look, I don't remember her name. Bro, I'm really bad with names. Uh she sounded really Japanese. Now I'll bring another comparison. It's like an American who's just learned Japanese and not very fluent with it, doesn't use it very often. It would be like "sugoi desu ne" or "sugo desu ne," instead of "sugoi desu ne." I'm only really good with those type of phrases. I have yet to become very fluent in Japanese myself, so I don't know how to say a lot of things. Um, Otsu desu. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not important. Okay, let's continue. Besides the point.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's a fascinating video to me.
What's happening psychologically is that the right is increasingly treating normality itself like a forbidden aesthetic. And not just the family or the nation or the church, but things that are far more basic, that feel
I
like
know,
the
right,
last
Rana?
remnants of a world that existed before the emergence of modernist ideologies and their tendency to destroy anything that can't explain or justify themselves through the ideology's own totalizing frame of reference. They're pointing towards things that are eternal, no matter what the reigning ideology, economic arrangement, or social trend
But
might
like,
carry the day at this exact
dude,
You see this? It's total inversion of everything. Kill fascism. Can you explain to me what fascism is? No, we just need to kill it. Also, feminism. It's become a monster, an unrecognizable monster, right? Because they don't even know what feminism actually is. Old wave like first wave feminism was totally different than it is now. It's not even the same thing anymore, actually. Now it's just performative. Someone wants, basically, it's a bunch of old women who want to complain about something, right? It's just they just want to complain about something, and not only that, not only do they want to complain about something, but they want to manufacture the problems so that they can complain about them and then offer the solutions to those problems. That's what they're doing. It's the same thing what these people are doing too. Because I don't think feminism is so far from the left, and the things that they do. They're always talking about kill fascism, and they don't really know what real fascism looks like. They're always looking to be communists and socialists when they've never seen actual communist and socialist countries. Even though we have plenty of examples of what happens when you have communism and socialism, but they're so narcissistic in their heads that they think, oh well, if we do it, it'll go differently. It's like no, no, it won't. It won't. You want to meet just like what you're doing now. what they're doing now is inverting all the sense and logic of the world. And it's like how the trans identity thing, it's like well, I'm a helicopter today and tomorrow I'm a speedboat. And you know, people can't cope with that. You can't change so fast. It's another reason why people are so resistant to change, right? But these people love change, but just in a bad way, because they want to change all the time. They want to be something different all the time. They're like kids, and they're like kids in adult. They're like child adults, and not only are they child adults, but they're mentally ill. They need help, because a lot of them, the minute that you don't like acquiesce to all their demands, you become their enemy. And what I mean about become their enemy, you're not just their enemy. You're something that they need to destroy. You can't even negotiate anymore. The minute you have crossed what they consider the line, because by the way, that line moves all the time, which is another issue. You can never, there is no line to meet with them, and you're always crossing the line the minute you disagree with them. And so it's another bad thing. I don't even understand how they get allies, or I don't even understand how people even can stand them. It's rather puzzling, and it's another reason I think a lot of it's manufactured. Because you notice that if you look at a lot of their gatherings, they can barely get anything done, because they're so busy trying to everyone is so busy huffing their own farts, they can't even get anything finished. There's never any type of discussion, because all, instead of there being like any value in whatever they're talking about, or any specificity for anything that they're talking about. Instead, it's a point of privilege, a personal point of privilege. This person has been gendering me. By the way, you're not using the cards that we have. You're not using them correctly. And I don't like the fact that you're not using it correctly, and so you need to stop using it incorrectly so that I can use it correctly. And so, and not only that, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna change the way this card is used. Now now only I can use the card, and yeah. Thank you. Now have a good day. It's total nonsense. It's total. By the way, someone said this. I don't want to look for the video right now, but someone said this. It's totally ridiculous. It's so bad that I can't take any of them seriously. All of them are just retards. You need to put them in the box. They belong in the asylum, because they don't make any coherent sense. And not only don't make any coherent sense, they're psychopathic murderers too. A lot of them, usually if they commit a crime and they commit murder, they usually show no remorse afterwards, and they'll try and come up with this total bull crap story that, oh well, I didn't do it, actually someone broke into the house and they killed them. And then when like there's actual proper investigation, they're like, the cops are like, no, you did that. They're like, what do you mean I did that? So that's your reality. Your reality is that I did that, but my reality is I didn't do that. Someone broke in and they killed them. It's total nonsense. And then you figure out, well, oh no, it's not our reality. Actually, you did it, right? Yeah, I did it. So why did you do it? Oh well, they misgendered me. Oh wait, what? Yeah, they misgendered me, and then they wouldn't accept my reality. So what do warlords do? Let me preface this. What do warlords do when you don't accept their reality? Or what did they do, right? Because this is in the past. Even though we do have warlords now, and they're in Haiti, and they're in Africa, and you see what they do if you don't accept their reality, right? They'll chop you up, and then they'll throw you in the basket, and then they'll throw you away, and they don't care after that. After that, well, we got rid of the problem. Uh, and the thing is the problem is that this is their same thought process. These are very dangerous individuals, and the way they try and reflect the fact that they're crazy and they're psychotic is that they'll say, "Oh, well, if you don't go with my reality, you're committing a genocide." You don't want to see a genocide, do you? Come on, you need to accept my reality. And that's not exactly what they'll do. If you don't accept their reality, there will if they see you enough of a threat to whatever they want to do, they will eliminate you. And not only will they eliminate you, they won't even bat an eye that they eliminated you. So think about that. These people are they're to me these people are animals. They're not even human anymore. Because I don't think a human could do that. I certainly couldn't. I wouldn't, just because like someone didn't agree with me, I'm not going to murder them. That's beyond extreme, right? Not only like murder them, but have no remorse afterwards. I think that's the more important part. The more important part is that they have no remorse afterwards, and they felt entitled that they needed to do that. They needed to eliminate the obstacle in their way. Because you stop being human the minute you disagree with them, and instead you're an obstacle that needs to be removed. And until everyone realizes that, we're not going to become extreme in removing these and excising them. To be honest, I see them as a lesion. A lesion that must be excised because they're too extreme and they're too psychotic. They either need to be put in a box if we're not going to use lethal methods, or we need to somehow put them away forever. Because these crazy people, they shouldn't be allowed into society. Because if there's enough of them that they're already shaking the foundations. And thankfully, now that we didn't have Kamala come in. Otherwise, we really would have been. It would have been another UK if that happened. I went on my tangent again. Oh, didn't I? Oh, well, I like these tangents. I hope you do too.
Dude, I want to fight this so bad. Like, I hate everything. I hate
Leaf, I want to fight this too. If there's some way we can fight this, I'm right here. Leaf, you can talk to me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing though, so I will need some training because I don't know how to fight this. All I can do is upload videos about it. I don't have. I live in New York City. It sucks here. Yeah, and I'm too poor to escape.
everything about this. Like, I want this fucking eradicated by the time I die. You know what I mean? Like that, I need it. I need them to do everything in my power because I hate this so much.
Moment. Things like innocence, beauty, nature as it is, don't need an explanation or an argument to
And
justify.
again, like, I'm not even saying that like you shouldn't be weird, right? That's not what I'm saying at all. Like, I'm definitely a fucking weirdo. I'm definitely like an against the grain person. I'm not like a normie, right? But like, it's like the inversion of like everything civilized. You know what I mean? It's everything civilized, everything ordered has been like completely turned upside down.
Themselves. They simply are, and they always have been.
Sorry, I know I keep pausing, but it's like everything good has become bad. Everything bad has become good. Everything ugly has become beautiful. Everything beautiful has become ugly.
Yeah.
It's like they have.
By the way, all of this would not work if they didn't have their little bubble, and they weren't so extreme. right? People aren't resisting to this is because they're so extreme. Like I said, they're animals. If you're not with them, you're against them. If you're not part of the pack, you're against the pack, and it's totally horrible. It's totally horrible. They act like animals. I don't know why they don't act human. I'd rather they act like humans, but they don't. Especially in everything that they do. There's no the only semblance of humanity is that they have somewhat intelligence and that they can talk. And I don't know an animal that can talk other than a parrot, but it's neither here nor there. Um
Completely fucked everything. Like to like the nothing makes sense anymore.
and parrots can't really talk, right? Because they just kind of they learn phrases and things. So they don't really like talk like you and me do. Like they don't talk like humans do. I'm expecting obviously the person to be watching this to be a human. So they don't have the same intelligence capacity and linguistic um, aptitude that we do, right? So I don't know why they're acting like mindless animals that only see the tribe. They're very tribal in nature, which I'm surprised we haven't kind of stamped that out with American culture. American culture is all about the individual, but also not about the tribe, right? It's about accepting other cultures and other cultures assimilating to our culture and becoming more American, because if we're all just a hodgepodge of different cultures, no one will ever agree. Everyone will be to their own tribe, like it is now. Basically, it's like it is now. You import enough people who don't want to become American, and you know what happens. Well, America is no longer America. Instead, it's a bunch of Muslims, it's a bunch of Italians, it's a bunch of Spanish people, it's a bunch of Germans, it's a bunch of Russians. It's just a hodgepodge of everyone around the world coming here and only accepting their own cultures and not assimilating to the American culture, right? So there's no America if we don't have the American culture, because most countries' foundation is culture. All countries' foundations are culture, and that's why the minute that they assimilate into American culture, they're no longer, well, they're still their culture, right? They still can do the things from their culture, but like most of the time they're American. They like eating burgers. They like doing things Americans typically do or typically did do, because a lot of the American stuff is going away. And don't you notice it's like I bet you the increase in the fact that we started accepting, actually I'm not going to even make that a statement until I qualify it with something. So we're just going to continue the video. This video might be like 30 minutes long because I don't want to make a part 5 and when most of this part I was talking, just like the last part.
And it's like I really like, guys, this is actually for reals. Like it is my mission to freaking destroy this. That's what I want to do.
You see an anonymous right-wing account on the internet posting that the left has no response to this. What they're essentially arguing, at least implicitly, is that the left's entire intellectual tradition, going back well over a century now, is basically allergic to beauty in the traditional sense. Think about what modernism, postmodernism, and critical theory all have in common. At their core, these are all just methods of deconstruction. Their entire purpose is to take a thing, a painting, a building, a story, a political structure, really anything, and essentially subvert it from within. How else do you get a political movement that argues urinals are art and builds things like Boston's City Hall?
Dude,
With these movements, and the left really at
can you
large,
imagine like just that's where I'm gonna work and it's gonna be great. I can't wait to see this building every day. Like, bro. What in the fuck?
City Hall. What these movements, and the left really at large, wants to do is constantly reveal the hidden power dynamics in everything, and to show people that what they thought was natural or
Yo,
beautiful.
chat, are you with me? Are you with me? We need to destroy this. Like, we need to destroy this mentality completely. Like, honestly, like, no fucking mercy. We need to bring back, like, beautiful things, cute things. We need to bring it back. And honestly, we need to bring back weird people. We need to make weird an okay thing to be again. Right? What I mean by that is, like, what they do is they take everything weird and then say, oh, this is normal, actually. Right? Oh, it's just normal, actually. No, it's not normal.
Is actually just an illusion or a
It's
social
not normal and
construct
it's fine.
that's being used as a tool of oppression by whoever's in charge at the time.
Yeah, by the way, being weird is okay. No one is telling you you can't be weird. Well, but you can't. Well, the thing is they're not even just weird. The problem is that they're extreme, right? So they're weird to the extreme. They're not just normal. They're either like they like it's like I could understand if you're a furry, but you shouldn't be going outside in a fursuit. Why? There are just too much problems. Too many external variables that just can't, they shouldn't coincide with your kink. Because, you know, being a furry and liking furries is a kink. So why shouldn't you externalize your kinks and have more people accept you? Well, you can. You can have a little convention about it, and you can have a little group about it. But like going outdoors, going outside, and like having parades of doing this, of like being a furry, having furry parades, I think that's a little too much. To be honest, I think that's way too far. It's way too far. And I know you might disagree with me, but I feel that it's way too far because it's exposing kids to this, right? My primary fault that I well the primary fault that I find into the extremes or having like non-private gatherings about this is because, like I said, it's a kink. You should never be exposing children to any type of sexual material. And I feel that if you're a furry, you're out in a fursuit, you're not like some mascot or something for a company, then you're exposing a kink to a child. And you know what? I don't think you have the authority to override a child's life experience just so that you can get some type of sick, you know, I don't know, some type of sick glee that now everyone allows you to parade around your kink. It's I think that's sick. It's not normal, and that's beyond weird, right? That's still, like I said, that's beyond weird. It's something beyond the normalcy of being just a weirdo who likes to stick to themselves, who likes to have a friend group in private, talk about the things that they're weird about, or the weird interactions that they have with their own people, right? Because I think weird people are more tribal in nature, and they usually stick to themselves and stick to with other weirdos, right? That's how we accept each other, and that's how we have little groups. But going out there and exposing yourself to possibly kids, infants, or anyone of not of age is weird. It's strange. It's not something that should be acceptable or something that you should do. Or this shouldn't even be a thought process to do, right? You shouldn't be like, oh, well, we should have kink parades about the kinks that we have or the kinks that we like. It's totally it's I don't even understand. It's total nonsense. I don't even understand how someone thought that was okay, right? That's why they're just a different level of weird, right? They're not normal weird. Normal weird wants to stay at home and continue to be introverts. When you go beyond weird, you now want to expose yourself to everyone and have everyone accept you, and that's usually narcissism. That's what one of the Roman emperors, his name was Nero. He liked doing that, forcing his beliefs on everyone, because he's the emperor and now I have all the power, right? And so now I can to defeat my enemy. You know, he was so narcissistic. He thought that to defeat his enemy, what he would do is he, instead of having warriors and you know, instead of having centurions, a phalanx, instead of having all that, he's going to get a bunch of prostitutes, and he's going to take them out to battle, and they're going to think it's so beautiful that they're going to put down their arms, and it's total crazy nonsense, right? It's beyond just like being just strange or weird. And if you don't believe me, we can always look it up. Let's look it up. Nero, Emperor Nero, and his army of prostitutes. Okay, yeah. Nero army of prostitutes likely referred to the historical accounts of flavor Roman propaganda surrounding his legendary over-the-top extravagance. Historical sources document two primary contexts for this phrase: his youthful rebellious gangs and his notorious public banquets. When these salacious stories are deeply embedded in the history of the Roman Empire, modern scholars caution that much of the imagery was heavily exaggerated by propagandists after Nero's death. Writers like Tacitus and Suetonius often painted a sensationalized picture of his reign to depth to depict him as a ultimate tyrant and a poster child for imperial decadence. You know what I have to say about that? I think that's total bullcrap. I think that Nero did those things that they think is exaggerations. Just think about it. He was the emperor. He could do those things. This is not exaggeration for the exaggeration's sake. I think that they were giving quite the honest account of what happened, and how, because a lot, it's funny, right? A lot of the things that are happening now are comical in nature, and I bet you that in the future they're going to say, "Oh, this, come on, this didn't happen." No, they're just propagandists, okay? They're propagandists, and then you figure out that no, this is not being. They're not being propagandists. They actually probably did these things.
But ask yourself who's in charge today. Does anyone honestly believe that the people running Harvard, the New York Times, Disney, the federal bureaucracy, and every HR department in America are speaking truth to power? These people are the power.
Yep.
This is part of a larger irony that honestly deserves its own video eventually. But the point is that the left spent decades leveraging things like postmodernism and critical theory to deconstruct existing power structures until they became the existing power structures themselves.
And by the way, they didn't do this through debate. They just forcefully did it because their debates make no sense. Right? So they did all this by force. Think about that. They just got into the positions and then they just took over and they just said, "Well, this is now how everything is now." Uh yeah. Yeah, this, by the way, this wasn't like elected in. This wasn't now obviously certain positions are elected, but the minute you get to people, the minute you elect those who elect you, you don't have any issues getting elected, right? So that's what they did. They got into positions of power where they're not like elected in exactly, but they can gain those positions where you need to elect people in. Basically, that's what happens. And then you make those positions that you were before not electable, and then continue to elect each other, and that's how they do everything under the guise of democracy. They will continue to elect each other and bounce off of each other. They'll continue to source each other's writings, and never outsource their writings. What I mean about like source and outsource is that they'll citate. So when they do citations and they do research, they'll cite each other, right? So it's conflict of interest. They'll cite each other's works, and then they're like, "Oh, look at all the citations we have." And to be honest, it's only really a circle jerk of one little group of people each citating each other, and they just continue in the circle. Well, yeah, that's why it's called a circle jerk. All right, let's continue. Actually, we're gonna end it here. It's already 30 minutes in. I've been talking, bro. I've been talking. Uh, this is part. I don't remember what part it is. I'll figure it out later. Now, thank you. We're gonna have another part of the video because I just keep talking. And I don't know if any of this is you guys find it important, but I'm gonna stop talking and we're going to continue watching next video.